it often goes that if you're an artist and you're given a wealth of colours, in a wealth of you know, materials. So you're given all of the colours of the rainbow, and you're given it in paint and chalk and fucking pencil crayons, you know, that kind of thing. Can you swear on YouTube? Is that something? Anyway, basically, if you're given this entire wealth of choices, it's very difficult to then be creative or even really choose something that you want to focus on. So, or at least it's much more difficult than if you're just given one thing and told to be creative with that. And I guess that's the same for me with consumption of media, and for many people, I'm sure, for their consumption of media. And the reason I'm talking about this is because this last week especially has been interesting for me, in so much as I've found it very difficult to focus on any one thing. I've kind of tried and picked at a lot of different stuff. My gaming has been very tapas recently, and apart from just being a very wanky comment, that, you know, that's also a good metaphor for the way that I've sort of picked and choose what I've been experiencing. So, for example, I've been playing. I played probably the first third of a fair amount of games in a fair amount of different genres. So I played Tomb Raider Anniversary this week and been kind of enjoying it, and well, it's a thoroughly well-made game, and it's certainly better than that piece of crap Underworld, and it's a good follow-up to Legend, which I thoroughly enjoyed, and it's a very good reimagining of the series. For me, it's not kind of what I've wanted, though. You know, I like that direction. I like that focus that Legend gave to the player, that pushed them forward all of the time. And I know a lot of people like the exploration in the Tomb Raider universe. You know, I know that that's what they wanted to do with Underworld, and they failed miserably. But you know, that's kind of where they wanted to move that series, I suppose. So, you know, as a remake, it's a fantastic game. As a game, it's a fantastic game. It's just not been kind of what I've wanted to play. Similarly, I've played about a third of Black, which is a first-person shooter on the PS2 and Xbox, and I think the PC, from Criterion, who I love. You know, I think those guys do fantastic work on the Burnout series, and you know, it's okay. It's good enough. It's an enjoyable enough shooter from a few years ago, I suppose, but it didn't really grab me in any way, and coupled with another few sort of shortcomings, such as controls and the fact that the visuals are a little bit dated now, I kind of went off it very, very quickly. Same with just the same with a lot of the other stuff that I've kind of been playing. A bit of Rayman, which is, I've tried to get back into that this week, and it's not really gelled with me, and I've literally just started Mass Effect, and although I'm really thoroughly enjoying my time in that world, and I think that it's got a lot to offer, I'm very worried that I'm gonna lose interest in it, and that's not a comment on Mass Effect. That's a comment on my focus as a game player at the moment, and it's just kind of got me wondering this week. If for example I was 5 years old, you know, 5 or 6 years old, which is when I first got my NES, and I had one game, I would be a lot more creative, I think, and I think I'd probably enjoy my gaming time a little bit more than now that, you know, I can sit in my lovely, you know, front room and have a big pile of games stacked all around me and feel like I've got nothing to play, and, you know, therefore eBay calls and that sort of thing. But I'm wondering whether and I suppose this is the crux of what this video is, if we limit ourselves as game players to one game a month, or as one writer who one writing colleague called Jen is doing, she's not buying any games at the moment, and from what I've read and from what she's sort of told me, she's really enjoying herself. So maybe get for a game player, perhaps limiting oneself and one's funds in the game space, and you know how much money you're prepared to pay, and on your hobby, I suppose. Perhaps that has has an effect on your grand enjoyment. And you know, if you only do buy one game a month, and you only have access to one new title, one new experience, perhaps you're going to enjoy that experience a little bit more. And that's kind of just got me thinking. And it's also got me thinking, maybe I should try some other things. Maybe it's that I've spent so much time of the last few years of my life constantly playing games and constantly having something on the go, or constantly having a few games on the go. Perhaps it's time now to and I'm not saying that I want to move away from games at all, although it probably sounds a little bit like it. But perhaps it's time to, you know, say for example, if I have money to buy, you know, 1, 2, 3 things every month, perhaps one of those things should be a game, and the second thing should be a CD, and the third thing should be a graphic novel, as opposed to, you know, 3 games, because essentially, you know, they are all the same medium. It's just got me thinking. What about you? What about you? I mean, do you think that you can not get burned out, because I think that that's the wrong word, but do you think that you can have a wealth of material at your disposal? If you only have bread to eat, is it more delicious? I suppose that's the ultimate question. Let me know on XeroXeroXero.wordpress.com, which is my personal website, or twitter.com/000. I'm also on Facebook. No one in games uses Facebook, do they? Not really. Let's not muck about. And let me know your thoughts.